This truck, this person, this Grimer, this bridge, and this tree. What do they all have in common? Absolutely nothing. They are completely random, as is the nature of this video. What if my team was to be decided at complete random by the matchmaking of Arceus herself? Here's the concept. I'm gonna beat Pokemon Scarlet in its entirety in a hardcore Nuzlocke with a team of exclusively surprise traded Pokemon. And every single time that I beat a gym, I'll catch and surprise trade a new Mon. Now, to make this slightly more of a challenge, I decided to add a couple more rules. The main things you need to know off the rip are that I can't heal in battle or switch when prompted. When a Pokemon faints, it's dead. Every surprise traded Pokemon must be below the next given level cap as per hardcore Nuzlocke rules. And finally, to make this a real challenge, I won't be allowed to use any starters, pseudos, or legendaries in this run. And if by some miracle I get one, I have to trade it right back out. So with all that in mind, my friends, it's time to embark on my journey to beat the Paldean region in a hardcore Nuzlocke in its entirety using only surprise traded Pokemon. My fate is in the hands of RN Geodude. Let's do it. So we start as any Paldean adventure starts, in my bedroom reading with a tie on. I go downstairs to find a squirrel who called me Muncha, which I think when translated means unfathomably handsome. Some dapper gentleman walks into my house and flirts with my mum before I go upstairs and put on a hat that makes me look like I'm about to go and wrestle an alligator. The dapper guy from before showed me his pets and I walked them to his mansion. The duck took a bath, the cat smelt some flowers, and the crocodile horse sneezed on an orange. Then this girl flicked her hair at me. I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, to speed things up, I had to take a Pokemon, otherwise they wouldn't let me leave. I took the crocodile, went to the beach and fought the girl, caught a pig, heard a roar, fell off a cliff, met a dinosaur, fed it my lunch and followed it into a cave. Then me and the dinosaur became best friends because he saved my life. I met some dude called Arvin and I incinerated his squirrel. Then, right, get this, he handed me the responsibility of raising his dinosaur to become a dinosaur of character, a dinosaur of integrity, a dinosaur of intention. But I think I'm just gonna use it as a bicycle. I eventually take on the storylines that make up the Paldean adventure, and with that, it's finally time for our first surprise trade. The first level cap is 15 to match the Cortondo gym, so because we caught the Lechonk and got given our starter, I'm gonna count both of those as our pre-gym 1 encounters. So let's trade them, shall we? What's the first level cap? 15? Okay, Cooper's taking Lechonk. Who's he gonna send? Magikarp! Oh no! That's bad. Oh no. What level is it? Oh gosh. Oh no. Because we have to see what level the Magikarp is. Oh no. That's so bad. Oh no. Oh gosh. Okay, please. Oh no. Okay, please. Okay, please. Please, please, please. That's a Scream... Oh, that's going to be way above the level cap, though. So I had to trade the Screamtail right back out. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, is that dupes? Well, I guess... Wait, no, because we didn't actually use the Lechonk. I guess that's not dupes, right? Garnet. Oh my god, wait, do I have to use a Lechonk? Well, let's see if it's below the level cap first. Oh my god, I've got to use a Lechonk. So before taking on Gym 1, I decided it was best to head over to Levencia to buy the metronome. Then I rolled an olive for some reason, and it was time to take on Katie. But I don't love our chances, to be honest. So I guess let's do this. Katie leads Nimble, and I lead Garnet the Lechonk. I terrestrialize and click Covet, and Katie clicks Double Kick, which just isn't great for poor Lechonk. Yes, Nimble fell, but then with Tarantula on the field and the inability to heal as per Nuzlocke rules, Garnet the Lechonk falls, and soon after, so does Carp. I honestly didn't even bother training the Magikarp because, I mean, let's be real. So I lost the first attempt, but since we didn't actually make any progress on the story, I decided to start attempt 2 from here. You know, rather than spending an hour and a half more spam clicking A through the mountain of dialogue that is the intro to Scarlet and Violet. So I'm gonna surprise trade off our 2 Pokemon, and hopefully this time we'll get something that can actually beat the first gym. Right, I actually need a viable team this time, please. I need the universe to be kind to me. Okay. Okay. Pommy. Pommy. That's the baby one. Okay, do you know what? Usable. Definitely, absolutely, incredibly usable. I'm happy with that. Is it below the level cap, though? Yes! Okay, so Pommy can be used. However, I traded Magikarp to Leo for an extremely over-the-level cap Orthworm. Then I traded Orthworm to Lyra for Fuecoco. But since we said no starters, Fuecoco gets the boot. But we end up trading back to Lyra for Orthworm, who, as we already know, is too high-leveled. But then, finally... That's a trade. Oh, that's a Tinkatank. That's a Tinkatank. That's a really, really, really good book. Okay. That's a Tinkatank. Raven, thank you. That's a Tink. Wait, is it going to be below the level cap? Hold on. Oh my god! It's an under the level cap Tinkatank. That's so good. Yes! So with our improved team of little misfits, let's give this another crack, shall we? Can you hear it in my voice? I'm more confident this time, for good reason. The fight starts and I lead Tinkatink as Katie leads her Nimble again. I gave Tink the Hard Stone and my plan is to use Rock Tomb for super effective damage against her bugs. We take a few hits, but we manage to get through Nimble with a Rock Tomb and a Metal Claw, then Tarantula with Rock Tomb followed by a Fairy Wind. This is looking much more possible. Teddy Ursa comes in, terastallizes to become a bug, and then after taking 50% from Rock Tomb, hits a Fury Swipes. Tink misses Rock Tomb, then takes a Fury Cutter and lands a Rock Tomb, leaving the teddy bear at 1 HP. I follow up with a Fairy Wind to guarantee the move hitting, since we all know anything under 100% accuracy is 50% accuracy. Anyway, we take home the first badge and walk away without any deaths. The second time round. So I guess 2 deaths, but you didn't see that. That didn't happen. You can't prove it. Cough, cough. And since we beat the gym, it's time to go and catch another expendable Pokemon to trade to a stranger. PSA, I just called Starly expendable, and I'm sorry because I love the Starly line, and I'm sure a lot of you guys too, so don't unsubscribe, and if you're not subscribed, then subscribe. And see, legally now, if you don't subscribe, you hate Starly. That's messed up from you. So I traded Starly over to Christina for an extremely overleveled Gimmighoul. I then traded Gimmighoul to, interesting, for a slightly over the level cap Slackoth. But finally, it was time for our third member. Come on, Slackoth, give me some luck. I believe. I believe. Come on, please. Please, please. Wait, that could be below the level cap, right? I believe it. I do believe it. Come on, Quillfish. Please, please, please. Hisuian Quillfish as well. Oh my god, I want a Hisuian Pokemon. There's no rules against that. Please. The level cap's 17 right now. It just needs to... Yes! That's so good. A Japanese Hisuian Quillfish. Hasty by nature. Let's go. That's so gas. That's so gas. I'm so happy with that. Yes. Absolutely 100 times yes. We got a Hisuian Pokemon, that's sick. But there are pros and cons here because on one hand this thing is awesome and on the other hand it's not ideal because the way that Hisuian Quillfish evolves is actually only accessible in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Or Arceus. Oh, cool. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce it. Don't judge me. So I can't ever actually evolve this thing into Overquill, which is pretty unfortunate. Regardless, we press on. With our team of Tinkatink, Japanese Hisuian Quillfish, and Pommy, we go to take on the Stony Cliff Titan, aka Unofficial Dynamax Crab, aka Dinner for 3, aka Cloth. I lead Tinkatink, and after Cloth uses Block, we hit a pretty solid Metal Claw. We get crit by Rock Smash, then land another pretty strong Metal Claw. Then after Anger Shell activates, we tank a Vice Grip and use Metal Claw one last time to send the crab scurrying. I heal Tinkatink, give her the Metal Claw, the crab punches a rock, eats a plant, Arven arrives, the crab does a spin, and it's time for phase 2. I click Metal Claw again without terastallizing so that we don't become weak to Rock Smash. But I'm gonna smash this rock, am I right? Not in a weird way, just in like a, you know how Hulk has like Hulk Smash? I guess that's what I spam Metal Claw, and after landing the first 2, Tink lands a crit, which just allows Arven to take the win with a water gun. Easy peasy cake. We headed into the cave, found a miracle plant, made a sandwich, fed it to the dinosaur farted, and we left. So in preparation for the next gym, I found the TM for Poison Jab and went to Cascarafa to buy the Poison Barb. Can you guess what my tactic is? Anyway, I head over to Artisan to run around and click a bunch of Sunflora, I guess. But they were all asleep, so I guess instead of chlorophyll, they all got chloroformed, am I right? Ha ha ha, comedy. With that out the way, it's time to fight the classy, sassy, brassy Grassman. But I did accidentally overlevel Tinkatink in the Titan fight, so we're running this one with 2 Pokemon. But with the Pokemon at our disposal, that will not be a problem. Brassius leads Petilil, and I lead Quillfish. I click Poison Jab. Then Brassius brought out Smoliv, and I click Poison Jab. Then Brassius brought out Sudowoodo, and I click Poison Jab. Twice. That's it. That's all that happened. De nada. That's all she wrote. Oh, but then Pommy evolved and I guess learned how to stand up. I would say that this evolution line's lazy design-wise, but honestly, they are adorable, so I'm gonna let them off. Anyway, we beat another gym, again with no more deaths. And that means we get to trade for another Pokemon. I'm loving this. This brings me as much joy as when I'd open Pokemon cards back in the day. Who are we gonna get? Could be fire, could be butt cheeks, who knows? Who am I gonna get? Oh my god, it's so adorable, but I can't use it because it's a starter and we said no starters. That hurts my feelings. Are you serious? Oh no. So with an extremely heavy heart, I traded away Oshawott for a Sawsbuck that was painfully over the level cap, and then I traded Sawsbuck for Jigglypuff. So I guess with Grududu the Jigglypuff being added to the lineup, we move. The Sky Titan is next on my hit list, so I ran past a bunch of falling Cocoa Pops to reach it. Then when I got there, it said the most obscure thing.
Subscribe to Gentle Dude.
Oh, weird thing to say. The fight kicks off and I click Rock Tomb to lower the Titan's speed, and after getting hit with a pretty soft pluck, that's exactly what transpires. I pivot to using Draining Kiss to regain HP and take as little overall damage as possible. However, after finally taking out the Stork, Tink sits at 20 HP. Not ideal. The bird headbutts a rock, eats some drugs, Arven comes through and it's time to fight again. Turn 1, Tink takes a wing attack that, yes, if it crit, would have killed, but in my eyes, the speed drop was worth it. With Tink on 3 HP, I switch over to Quillfish and I can safely poison jab, which very almost takes out the bird. Then Arven swoops in for the kill. That's 2 times he's actually been helpful. I'm here for it. Usually Arven sucks. Anyway, we head into the cave, find some extra sweeties, Arven grinds them into another sandwich, which I again fed to my bicycle. My bicycle farted and then Arven revealed my bostiff. I would die for this dog. He ate, I smiled. He barked, I wept, and then it was time to go. Before heading towards Giacomo, aka Kevin, I wanted to run a few errands. First, I picked up the TM for Play Rough, and then I headed into Medali to grab the leftovers. So with that in the bag, it's time for some more fisticuffs. Kevin leads Poniard and I lead Tinkatink. I entirely spaced and didn't terrestrialize turn 1, but recovered and terrored turn 2, landing a few Play Roughs to take out Poniard. The Starmobile comes in, intimidates Tinkatink, and goes for Metal Sound, but misses. I land a Play Rough that doesn't do much, then the Starmobile hits a devastating Wicked Torque. I have to switch to Pommel. I click low kick for some chip damage and land 2 before having to switch. Then with the Starmobile at about a quarter of its HP, 2 poison jabs are all it takes from Quillfish to defeat it. That was terrifying on more than one account, but we're out here aliving and surviving nonetheless. So with Kevin and his barely even a Pokemon Starmobile dealt with, I decided to upgrade the team a little before heading towards the Lavincia gym. I walked 1,000 steps with Pommel, then had her eat a rare candy so that the small bear could become, well, a less small bear, I guess. I also gave Groudadoo the Jigglypuff a Moonstone, so she's now Groudadoo the Wigglytuff. Also, it just dawned on me that our team is entirely female. So, henceforth, we will be known as and will only answer to the Powerpuff Girls. I will be taking no further questions at this time. Before taking on Iono, we have to fight Nimona, but that was easy, so we'll skip past it. Iono is the real threat. We play Peekaboo, and apparently that deems us worthy to fight Iono because she'll only fight me if it gets views. It's almost as if she hasn't heard of the Gentle Dude YouTube channel. I mean, electronic Magnemite hairpiece, jagged teeth, purple eyes. If anyone is going to be an influencer, it's going to be Iono. Anyway, she leads Wattrel and I lead our freshly evolved Pommel. I click Grill, she clicks Pluck. I click Grill, she clicks Pluck. I grill, she plucks. You get the gist. Wattrel's at -6 attack, so I can pretty safely switch to Tinkatink, who is holding the leftovers. We just don't want to get parried. Okay. I tried to set up swords dances, but I get fully parried. And then fully parried again. And then fully parried again. And then fully parried again, bro. What does this game want from me? Eventually, I get the other 2 swords dances off before clicking Rock Tomb and flooring the bird. But that was unnecessary. Bellybolt hits the field, and I click Play Rough, but it didn't kill. And Bellybolt outspeeds, so I did all that for nothing. Sick. I know he's gonna click Spark, so I switch to Pomot to swallow it with Volt Absorb. Then I click Dig the following turn. Bellybolt falls. Iono sends out Luxio, who intimidates, but it's not too scary. I click Dig, which does a healthy chunk to Luxio, then another floors it. Mismagius is next. I decide that Pomot is probably my best bet, so I stay in and click Arm Thrust. I get the Quick Lop up, but terrifyingly, it does pretty much nothing. I bring in Groudadoo knowing that Mismagius is about to use Hex. Then I click Hyper Voice, and after getting confused, we land it. Anticipating the Charge Beam, I click Disable next turn, so the only move that Mismagius can use from now on is Confuse Ray, which makes it entirely useless. At Terrasilize, we land a crit, we win the battle, and Tinkatink evolves. It's a win-win-win. We take the battle and the badge, meaning that we get to surprise trade for another Pokemon. Woo! Okay, Litleo, what are you gonna get me? Sudowoodo, okay. Ah, it's over leveled. Okay, Sudowoodo, what are you gonna get me? Get me Ghoul. That's gonna be a ridiculous level. Yep, 75. Get me Ghoul. What are you gonna get me? This is gonna be the best trade of all time. You ready? Huh! Ah, okay. Right, okay. So here's the thing. You can almost always nullify Mela if you use the move Rain Dance. And I just found out that there's a Rain Dance TM directly next to Mela's base. That is unfortunate. You see, the main thing that makes Mela's team scary is her Torkoal's ability, Drought. But because Torkoal has the same base speed stat as, well, a turtle, you can always outspeed, use Rain Dance, and turn Torkoal into a marshmallow. I travel all the way to the polar ice caps to snag the TM for liquidation, go to Mezagoza to pick up the Mystic Water, and then head off to square up against Mela. Mela leads Torkoal, I send out Quillfish. Turn 1, as per the plan, I click Rain Dance, then get hit by a soft Flame Wheel doing 13 hit points. I click Liquidation, land a crit, and almost kill. Then the next turn I use Aqua Jet to finish off the turtle. The following turn, the Starmobile uses Blazing Torque, and of course lands the burn. I click Liquidation again, taking the Starmobile down a little farther. Then I need to switch. Pomot's up next, and we tank a hit, then the rain stops. I decide that my play is to use Dig and waste as much PP of the Starmobile as possible. I get 2 hits off before switching to Wigglytuff, and then get hit by a hard Blazing Torque. I click Hyper Voice, but it doesn't quite kill. So in my eyes, there's one out. If I switch in and sack Smoliv, I can get a free switch to Quillfish, and then use Aqua Jet for the guaranteed KO. So, that's exactly what I do. Smoliv, I appreciate your sacrifice. You will live on in this video, and probably nowhere else, because no one honestly cares. I'm not even gonna lie. I made some horrible decisions there. I should not have gotten out that easy. One high roller crit and someone would have died. Well, someone important. Sorry, Smoliv. Anyway, with a way more stressful than anticipated Melifite out the way, we can move on. This Titan is adorable and extremely easy. I lead Pawmot and click low kick twice. The worm runs away. I chase it. It punches the wall, eats some drugs. Arvin shows up, and then it's phase 2. I click low kick. That's all that happened. After a refreshingly easy fight, we head into the cave, grab the plant, make a sandwich, feed the bike farts, and we head on our way. After bidding on some seaweed for Kofu, I ran across the planet to find the TM for bulk up, and then it was time to fight. Kofu leads Veluza, I lead Grududu. Wait, I just realized the reason I was calling it Grududu earlier was because it was called Rondudu as a Jigglypuff, but that's the French name for Jigglypuff. So then when it evolved into Wigglytuff, its name is now actually Grududu. That's insane. Sorry, that's weird. Back to the video, my bad. The plan is to get 3 charms off with Wigglytuff before switching out to Pawmot, who's holding the leftovers. I opted for bulk up because it raises both physical attack and defense, so each time we use it, provided we don't get crit, we'll take less from Aqua Cutter and recover more from lefties. After a few bulk ups, I realized that I should have nuzzled the Veluza, 1 to slow it down and 2 to get the chance of full power. Of course I realized that after the crit, but I clocked it eventually and used it before it was enough to kill. I kept setting up with bulk up until Pawmot was +6, then I clicked Spark to end it. Walk Trio's next, and after taking a Water Pulse, we one-shot with Spark. Last but not least is the Crab. I terrestrialized Pawmot and click Spark, and since we outspeed, it's enough to one-shot. That was stressful, but overall, easy peasy. And you know what that means? We get another surprise trade! I think I'm addicted. I think this is my version of gambling. So I caught a Fletchling, traded it for a drastically over-leveled Gallade, then traded Gallade for Bronzor, who was actually under the level cap. This is perfect. We're about to fight Atticus. There is no better Pokemon for this. I swiftly evolve our new teammate Bronzor into a beautiful Bronzong. I think that this encounter was sent from the universe. You see, the universe knows how much I hate Atticus. Atticus is the worst. Atticus is a pizza burn on the roof of the world's mouth. I'm assuming that the Pokemon universe has a rough 1-to-1 ratio of population to our universe, meaning there's about, what, 8 billion people? Out of those 8 billion people, statistically, someone has to be the worst, right? Well, I found him. His name's Atticus. So who better to fight a poison wielder than a steel psychic type? I love the timing of this. Bronzong to the rescue. I will cherish her. She doesn't have a gender, but the rest of the team are girls, so we're gonna roll with it. Anyway, Atticus is about to get cussed out. Am I right? That was bad. Atticus does a flip, then leads Skuntank, and I lead Bronzong. Hilariously, the Skuntank only knows Venoshock, Toxic, and Sucker Punch. So with the Bronzong, as long as I stall out Sucker Punch, we actually can't be hit. The steel typing in this fight is clutch. Anyway, I click Calm Mind a bunch, and then I click Iron Defense a bunch so that the Bronzong is +6 special attack, special defense, and physical defense. Once that's through, I click Heavy Slam a couple of times and Skuntank falls. Revavroom comes at oh my god. Revavroom comes in and I click Extra Sensory, which one-shots. Gosh. Muck is next, and after taking a Mud Slap, an Extra Sensory is all that it takes for Muck to fall. The Starmobile's last, and yeah, no, we one-shot that as well. Bronzong is a godsend. And so with Atticus in the bin, Gentle Dude and the Powerpuff Girls swiftly and with great purpose press on to take on Larith the Drowsy. Drowsy is in the state of being, not the Pokemon. So I ordered some food, I guess, before coming toe-to-toe with the handsomest, most revered and respected Pokemon gym leader in the Paldean region. Laza leads Komala, I lead Tinkertuff. Komala is drowsing and Tink breaks the mold, whatever that means. How does one break the mold? Regardless, I start by clicking Swords Dance as Komala uses Yawn, but I prepared for that with a Chesto Berry and used Swords Dance twice before using Brick Break to one-shot the Koala. I debated going for +6, however, I didn't want to take another Yawn since I've already lost my Chesto Berry. Well, turns out that was the wrong play because we don't one-shot the Dudunsparce, which means it gets a Glare off and therefore outspeeds the next turn. Listen, it's fine, we take out whatever Dudunsparce is supposed to be, and after Larry brings out Staraptor, I switch to Bronzor. Larith presses the Terra button, making Staraptor a pure normal type defensively. He goes for Facade, which does Pipsqueak damage, and I opt for Body Press. Bronzong takes some hits and throws some of her own, before I opt to switch to Quillfish, who takes a heavy amount of damage on the switch-in. But it's fine because the plan is just to finish the birdie with Aqua Jet, which we do. We fought a good fight, and best Larith in the hand-to-hand combat. I will never forget you, sir. And that's not just because we have to fight again in the Elite Four. Wait, you're telling me that straight after the gym, I need to fight Nemona? Why? Let me breathe, woman. Ugh, gosh, okay. We go outside and paste her team. We embarrass her in front of her idol. We make a mockery of Nemona. Don't challenge me, fool. I will end you. But on the brighter side, beating Larry means we get another surprise Pokemon. I'm so addicted to this, you have no idea. Stop following me! Bro, this Pokemon is in all of my I think there's maybe 3 videos on my channel that Tropius doesn't play an integral part. I will go as far as to say that this Pokemon is hurting my feelings. It's definitely going to be below the level cap as well, isn't it? Yeah, I thought as much. Okay, Tropius, fine, whatever, you win. So, now it's time to come up against Rhyme. Some might say my team looks sublime. Tink and Quill are the leads of mine, while Mimi Bennett are the leads of Rhyme. I Terra Quill and break the disguise, and I take 2 attacks, but that's just fine. The crowd is screaming, yeah, alright, which boosts my Pokemon stats, divine. I Swords Dance again and one-shot the Mimi, get hit by Icy Wind, which isn't Supreme. I Crunch and I Brutal Swing to floor both our Mons. Well done, Tink and Quill, you're really the bomb. Rhyme sends out a Punk, but it's all on its own, so let's not mess around, she's about to get owned. She Terras the Frog as a bad last resort, but the battle is over and she just got floored. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, with another gym leader down and another gym badge up, we can Wonder Trade another Pokemon. Do you smell that? That smells like a good Pokemon. So, I traded away Smoliv and I received a Marill in return. Which, to be honest, I'm not mad at. Marill is very useful and Azumarill is incredible. Before moving on, I gave Marill a rare candy, which means now we have an Azumarill, and with our team fully leveled, it's time to take on the Great Tusk. Remember how Bronzong was a great encounter for Atticus? Well, Azu is just demonic against this thing. We got Rapid Spin one time before using Hydro Pump to completely demolish the big boy. Then all it took was half an Aqua Jet and phase 1 was through. The Tusk did a ground pound, I healed Azu, sprinted to his lair, he headbutted a wall, ate some drugs, Arvin pulled up, and it was phase 2. I clicked Hydro Pump turn 1, and it did considerably less than last time. But since Scovillain used Scary Face the last turn, we both outspeed, and so another Hydro Pump is all it takes to... Wait, what? It survived! My guy, just die. You have 0.5 HP. How are you still standing? I mean, okay. I Aqua Jet again, and the Tusk faints. Azu smiled at me, and I died cause cute. We entered the lair of the beast, found some drugs of our own, grinded them into a sandwich, fed the sandwich to our respective pets. Mine farted, and we headed out. Before taking on the Alfornada gym, we have to fight Nimona, so I embarrassed her, and then pushed her onto the gym trial, which in this case included some incredibly subpar dance moves from Pomot and I. Listen, I know I'm an incredibly tall, amazingly handsome, unfathomably talented Pokemon YouTuber, but I'm not a dancer. I can't dance. And that's okay. We can't all be amazing at everything. My loyal subjects, you must accept me as I am, for I am Gentle Dude, and I can't dance. Now that's through, it's time to fight with, that's an interesting outfit to wear in the torrential rain. I'm not complaining, I'm just, what were we talking about again? Okay, so she leads Farigiraf and I lead Quillfish. I decided that I wanted Terra Dark turn 1 and set up a couple Swords Dances before attacking with Crunch, which gets the Oko. Gardevoir comes in, Gardevoir gets one shot. Espathra comes in, Espathra gets one shot. Same story, different pages, am I right? Anyway, Florges comes in, terastallizes, and gets... one shot. That was easy. 8 badges in, 1 failed attempt, and 1 death this run. We're looking pretty good. And it's time for another surprise trade. Okay, Combi, who are we gonna get? It's gonna be amazing, isn't it? Ah! It's a bicycle! That's fine. I'm cool with that. I don't really need... I mean, I'll take it. I've never used it. So, you know. Alright, in order to move on, we ride our bike down a ski slope and then we can fight Grusha. Frostmoth gets flattened by Tinkaton. Beartic gets even more flattened by Tinkaton. Satitan comes in, I Swords Dance twice and then flatten Tinkaton. Wait, what? I flattened Satitan with Tinkaton. Then on to Altaria. I went for Rock Tomb, which just misses out on the KO, but then Hurricane lands and confuses Tinkatink. Tinkatink? God, I can't speak today. Regardless, I switch. First, I opted for Pomot. Don't judge me, I wasn't in good health. In realizing my mistake, I switch over to Quillfish, who absolutely outspeeds and kills with Crunch. That could have been nasty. Okay, whatever. Grusha down, and we can now officially say that we've beaten every single gym leader in Paldea with a completely random team. Come on, something good, something good, something good, something good, something good. That's a starter. Oh, man, I love that one. Sprigatito's so good, man. That is heartbreaking. See, if I didn't say no starters, I would be sat here with an Oshawott and a Sprigatito. Show me the money, please. Something decent, something usable, something amazing, something fantastic, something incredible. Or Fido. I mean, Dashbon's sick. Dashbon is sick. Sourdough. I love it. That's so good. Ortega's up next, and I decided to lead Grududu to use Reflect turn 1. I gave Wiggly the Light Clay to hold, so that should help with the plan. I switched to Tink on a soft play rough, then Swords Dance, but get charmed. Next turn, I Swords Dance again, and take an Iron Tail, then the same happens next turn. Wigglytuff comes in, and I click Metal Claw with one shot and get the attack boost. So when Dashbon comes in, I click Metal Claw again to try and get another attack boost, but sadly we miss out. It's cool though, we get the one shot. I Terastallize to Steel and click Gigaton Hammer, so after taking a laughable amount of damage from Steel Roller, we one-shot the car. This is almost too easy. Actually, do you know what? This is too easy. I want to level up this challenge, so I've decided on something. If I don't lose any more Pokemon between now and the Sada fight, before I step in, I am going to surprise trade every single Pokemon again. With the same rules, no legendaries, no pseudos, no starters. So with that in mind, let's head off and fight the False Dragon. I lead Grududu against Dondo in phase 1 and click Reflect. I get hit by Water Pulse, but don't get confused confused, so I click defense curl before getting hit by a pretty hard Aqua Tail. Then I want a baton pass over to Tinkaton to keep the defense boost, and now we're really taking no damage from Dondo's attacks. I set up a couple of swords dances, and after getting powered by Body Slam, I click play rough twice for the KO. The not quite a dragon fish whale swims off, and I heal up the gals. I swim after Dondi Poo, it whips its ass, breaks a rock, the sushi eats the drugs, the whale eats the sushi, Arvin gasps, and we're knee deep in phase 2. Gradient and Gerudo are up. Turn 1 I click reflect and Dondo targets Gradient. I switch over to Azu and Gradient lands a decent takedown. Then Azu uses play rough and gets some chip as Dondo misses. Then Superpower does like nothing, and Azu takes an Aqua Tail before I switch over to Tinkaton. After Gradient's takedown, one play rough floored the not quite a Dragon Titan. But get this, now we have to fight Dondo's lunch from earlier. Turn 1 I click reflect and Gerudo avoids a muddy water. Then I decide to switch to Azu as Tatsushimi lands an icy wind. Next turn I click play rough, but Tatsu outspeeds now and floors Arvin's Gradient. Azu gets taunted, but for the most part my plan is just to spam click play rough anyway. So now that Tatsu's on 1 HP, I switch over to Quillfish to avoid any crits. And after taking a pretty hard icy wind, I click Aqua Jet, which kills the... What? Again? What is it with these titans living on less than 1 HP? Okay, well, that's that dealt with, and we come out unscathed. We head into the cave to find some herbs, make a sandwich, fuel our motorbike, and of course, it farted. Arvin's dog came back to life, and it's time to move on. We are almost done. Eri, the unofficial AC/DC member, is up next, and she's about to get clobbered. She leads Toxicroak, and I lead Pomot. I want to nuzzle turn 1, which I do before taking a heavy poison jab, which does land the poison. So I switch to Tink to avoid the poison jab, then set up a swords dance as the frog gets full powered. I set up another, and Croak lands a pretty hard brick break. Then I decide to go for one more, risking the crit, because I taught Draining Kiss, which recovers more the more damage I do. That plus lefties means that once I two-shot Toxicroak, I'm at a decent amount of HP. Eri brings in Annihilate, and we one-shot. Eri brings in Passimian, and we one-shot. Eri brings in Lucario, and we one-shot. Finally, Eri brings in the Starmobile, and guess what? It gets one-shot. Can I just say that Tinkaton one-shot both Ortega and Eri's Starmobiles with absolutely no issues? What a genuine girl boss. Okay, so with the Elite 4 facing us, we're sitting pretty with a team of absolute beasts. Don't forget, these are all Pokemon that people around the world deemed unworthy. These Pokemon were all wonder traded, disregarded, thrown to the wind. Now look at us. It's time for the Elite 4. Rika is up first with her ground types. I lead Gerudo and click Light Screen turn 1 since Whiscash is entirely special. I then Defense Curl before baton passing over to Azu. See, I taught Azu Trailblaze, which is quite effective on Whiscash and is guaranteed to raise our speed. So, 3 turns of that and Whiscash falls. Then against Donphan, Surf breaks his sturdy, it misses a Stone Edge, and then an Aqua Jet takes it out. We're getting really lucky here. Doug Trio comes in, and since we have the speed buffs, we outspeed and Surf crits and one-shots. To be honest, I think we one-shot even without the crit, but it's nice regardless. Camera Up comes in and falls to a single Surf, leaving just the mighty Claude left standing. Rika terastalizes and uses Protect for whatever reason. Then, I misclicked, and I got Toxicked as a result. The following turn, I know Rika wants to Protect, so I switch to Cyclozar, use Dragon Rush, which flinches, then use Breaking Swipe. The Clodsire goes for Toxic Stall strats again, but I'm not worried about it. I just want to lower its attack enough so the Earthquake doesn't hurt too much. And then at that point, one quick attack is all it takes to floor the blob. Get smacked. Ah, Poppy, the legitimate toddler. She can barely speak. Bro, she can barely walk without holding someone's hand. This has to be against some kind of Paldean child labor laws, right? Is nobody else concerned about this? Justice for Poppy. That's what I say. Anyway, Copperaja leads and I lead Pomot. I taught her low kick for this exact Pokemon. Copperaja falls in 1 as predicted, and that baits Bronzong. I switch to Quillfish, baiting the Zen Headbutt, and then Terastalize to the Dark type. Then I click Swords Dance. I don't want to be weak to the incoming Earthquake. I get 2 Swords Dances up before opting to attack with Crunch, which cleanly one-shots. Corviknight's next, and I click Crunch again, which one-shots again. Magnezone comes in, and so I decide that the play was to switch back to Pomot, baiting the Electric type move into Pomot's Volt Absorb. Then I click Arm Thrust, which doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but I click it again anyway. We take some damage from Tri-Attack, but after a low kick, we're in a decent spot. Tinkaton's last, and this thing is scary. I opt for low kick with Pomot, and Poppy terastalizes. The low kick gets a clean one-shot, Tink falls, and the second Elite 4 member falls with it. So far, so good. Larith, my brethren, we meet again. Huzzah! Let's do this for old time's sake, eh, buddy? Okay, Larry leads Tropius, and I lead Tink. A Swords Dance turn 1, and Tropius goes for Sunny Day to activate his Chlorophyll. I set up Swords Dances while Tropius uses Air Slash a couple times before I one-shot the Tanistrophius with a Rock Tomb. Easy. Altaria comes in and gets one-shot by a Rock Tomb. Easy. Staraptor comes in, intimidates, and gets one-shot. Oricorio comes in and gets one-shot. Flamigo is last, and Larry terastalizes, but, I mean, yeah, no, Flamigo also Got one shot. That was weak, Larry. You're better than that. Anyway, that's 3 down and 1 to go. Dragon Wielder Hassel. Let's go. He leads Noivern and I lead Grududu. We avoid the Super Fang turn 1 and click Reflect. The following turn, Super Fang connects and I go for Defense Curl, since the plan is ultimately just a baton pass. Noivern uses Air Slash and crits, which almost kills Grududu. That was close. Anyway, I switch in Tink and click Swords Dance as Noivern misses its move. Next turn it connects and I get in another Swords Dance, so when Noivern Air Slashes next turn, I click Play Rough and one shot. Dragalge comes in and falls to a Play Rough as well. Haxorus comes in and falls to a Play Rough as well. Flapple comes in and falls to a Play Rough as well. Finally, Baxi comes in, terastallizes to the pure Dragon type and falls to one single Play Rough. Is it just me or was the Elite Four just easy? Regardless, with the Elite Four down, I just have Gita left before my Misfits can claim the title of Paldean champions. Okay, Gita, it's all come down to this. You and I have been dancing this dance for too long. We will overcome you. We've come too far for anything less. Gita leads Espathra and I lead Grududu. We take a Lumina Crash before clicking Light Screen turn 1 as Espathra is purely special. I switch over to Tinkaton and start to set up Swords Dances, but I won't lie, the Lumina Crash special defense drops are pretty scary. I stick at it since Tinkaton is a fast Pokemon, and so once we're all set up, I terastallize and one shot with Terra Blast. So then the next turn when Avalog switches in, I can flatten it even more than it's already flattened with Gigaton Hammer. That then baits Veluza, and so I Terra Blast again, and even though it isn't very effective, it one-shots. King Gambit comes in, and the quad-effective Brick Break sweeps that thing to the floor. Go-Go comes in and falls to a single Terra Blast, and since Glamora is Terra Rock, she switches it in, terastallizes, and a Gigaton Hammer swiftly sends it to its grave. Poor alien rock flower. Gita was just so easy. The entire Elite Four was easy. You see, the Powerpuff Girls are on their own wavelength. You can't compete with us. So you know what? I'm gonna do something ridiculous. I want redemption for every single Pokemon that people deem unworthy and send off in a blind trade. It may be a fun surprise for you, the trainer, but for the Pokemon, it's trauma that can't be recovered from. Those Pokemon will forever question why they weren't good enough for you, why you'd send them off with no remorse to a stranger, and with absolutely no idea what you'll receive in return. Disgusting. So after completely pile driving through Clavel, Penny, Arven, and Nimona, I've decided that I'm gonna wonder trade everyone. I truly hope my girls go to good homes, and if not, unleash the wrath of 1,000 suns upon those who mistreat them. God knows they're capable. So let's see what we're working with, shall we? Okay, trade number 1, who are we gonna get? Skiploom. Skiploom. Okay, we can work with that, I think. No, we can't. We've got a lot more trades. That's tip of the iceberg. Oh my god, Tinkaton, I'm so sorry. You're my favorite. I love you so much. Goodbye. Please give me something good. Please give me something good. Routes. Okay. Gardevoir or Gallade. That's amazing. That's so good. That's so good. That's so good. Trustler. Let's go. Trustler. That's Classler. Ha ha ha. Comedy. Oh, Quilly, I'm sorry. Okay. Please give me something good. Espeon. I'll take Espeon. That's not bad at all. That's 2 psychic types, but still good. Cyclizar's off. I'm trading in my bicycle. What am I going to get in return? Okay, that's just... Garnet's back! Garnet's back! That is not Garnet, unless Garnet's incredibly well traveled. Palma, goodbye, my friend! Oh, I want it! I want it so bad! I want it! Oh, I want Scott Bunny! I can't use it as a starter. We made rules. Give me something good! Sableye. Sableye? Is Sableye good? That's like mid-table. I'm not mad at that. Zobyrus. Okay, Zobyrus. Zobyrus? Zobyrus. I don't know. Grududu, I love you. I will see you later. Is that a Snom? Is that a shiny? No, wait, it's not shiny. It's just Snom. Snom! I've never used a Snom. I'm not mad at this. Thanks, Gabriel. Is that another Lechonk? Sick. I think, though, in this case, I will trade it, because this time it actually is dupes. I've got another Lechonk right now. Yeah, see, I'm just going to trade it. Yeah, I can't have 2 Lechonk. Come on, guys. I had a Lechonk in the first run, and now I've got 2 Lechonks. That's too much Lechonk. We don't need that. Surskit. Sick, incredible, magnificent, amazing, synonyms. Sure, thanks, Charlie. Okay, Sourdough. Please bring me some luck. Charcadet. Okay, wait, I'm playing Scarlet, so Armarouge. Nice. I've never used it. That's actually kind of exciting. I'm game for that. Okay, Bronzong, last trade of the entire game. Who are we gonna get? That's Flittle. I'm not mad at that. Espathra. Espathra's a cool Pokemon. I've not had a chance to use her yet. I'm game. Let's do it. So, sadly, I realized that Zobyrus is level 75, which, let's be real, is just too over-leveled. And it's got a Dragon Terror type as well. This thing is so good. But 75 is just overkill. I will just sweep with a Sableye, so I'm gonna have to trade it. Alright, this is the last trade. Unless this Pokemon's drastically... Pikachu! That's kind of fitting. I kind of like that. That's, you know what? I'm here for it. I'm sort of kind of game for that. So now we need to make some changes. I evolved Flittle into Espathra, Ralts into Curlia, Curlia into Gallade, Snom into Frostmoth, and traded 10 Bronzor fragments for the auspicious armor to evolve Charcadet into Armarouge. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to embark deep into the crevice of Area 0 to find the one they call Sada, to achieve all that we set out to achieve. Oh my god! I didn't even know this was possible! Bro, that's a shiny Zweilous! During the story, I thought Area 0 was shiny locked. Like the first time that you go through for this. That's insane! Bro, what? That's insane! That was crazy. Okay. So as we descend, we see more of the true secrets of the crater. What really lies behind the eyes of this Professor Sada. Things get dark. Death, destruction, and the coolest cutscene in the entire game. It's time for my team of adopted strangers to prove to the world what they're worth. Sada leads Slitherwing and I lead Pikachu. Turn 1 I click Charm before taking an ungodly amount of damage from Lunge. I decided that my smartest play, and I'm really sorry to say this, is to sacrifice Pikachu. How dare he, am I right? I clicked Charm again and that was just enough to prevent Low Sweep from getting the knockout. But with the speed drop, I decided that I want the clean switch more than anything, so I let Pikachu fall. With that, Armarouge can safely come in. I give Arma the Quick Claw because, well, it's slow. And we actually get the Quick Claw proc turn 1, which lets us fire off a Will-O-Wisp. Now the Slitherwing hits like a marshmallow even with super effective damage. I can switch over to Cyan 23, the Espeon, and use Reflect to even farther negate the prehistoric bug. I get one last charm off before switching out to Frostmoth, tank a Lunge, recover back to full with lefties, and then start setting up Quiver Dance. It's been a team effort up till now, but this is where Frostmoth takes the reins. See, we're recovering back up to full every single time, so we're free to set up all the way to +6. Then Frostmoth uses Aurora Beam and one-shot Slitherwing. Fluttermane comes in, but a crit Aurora Beam sends it right back to where it came from. Sandy Shocks is next, but meets the same fate to a super effective blow. Scream Tail's in, and since it's a bulky Pokemon, it survives one, but Play Rough doesn't do too much, and the second move knocks it out. Brute Bonnet comes in, lands a Sucker Punch, and Frostmoth is now setting it lower than I'd like, but we do one-shot the Mushroom as well. Finally, Roaring Moon. Protosynthesis activates, so if we miss out on the one-shot, we absolutely lose Frostmoth, but we all know that isn't gonna happen. The dragon falls, and we take the battle. And the game. We beat Pokemon Scarlet. Subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance that you'll enjoy one of these ones. I do. I've worked really hard on them, and I'm trying to become a YouTuber because I really like it. So if you want to go and watch them, go and watch them. If you don't want to go watch them, then fuck. No, I'm joking.